All right, guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we're talking about the 5 things you need to know before relocating to Boise, Idaho. Make sure you guys stay tuned because we're going to be dropping a lot of hidden gems or golden nuggets that you didn't know before watching this video. All right, guys, so if this is your first time here, make sure you guys do me a huge favor. Leave a like, comment where you're watching from. We love to know where our viewers are tuning in from. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys press the subscribe button and turn on the bell at the top of the screen because we're going to be dropping more videos just like this on a regular basis. So without further ado, let's talk about what you guys are here for today. So guys, before I got here, these are some of the things that I really wish that I would have known before I arrived. Now, originally when I got here, most of you, if you don't know my story, I actually came here on military orders. I used to be active duty Air Force, straight out of boot camp from San Antonio, Texas. We got stationed to Idaho, Mountain Home Air Force Base, Idaho more specifically, which is about 45 minutes away from Boise. And now when we're talking about Boise specifically, as far as where it is location-wise, Boise is southwest in the state of Idaho. So it's in the area called, or better known as, the Treasure Valley, or the City of Trees, if you will, because it was discovered by one of the explorers back in the Lewis and Clark days, and they discovered Idaho, and they just thought it was the most natural, resourceful, beautiful area. It was just filled with so many riches and things of that nature. So for those of you history nerds or people that geek out on history, that's kind of what attracted so many people to Boise and how it got its nickname, City of Trees. So here's some things that I didn't know that actually I have grown to love as far as Boise goes. Boise has a significantly low level of crime, and that, I think, kind of correlates with the quality of life. There's so much just happier people here in the city of Boise, and I think that's why so many people are relocating this way in the beginning, is because they come here, they literally fall in love with it, from all the natural beauty that we kind of discussed, from the mountains, from the town vibe, from all the different beautiful shops, from the friendliness of all the people, like just all the different things that Boise has to offer in that capacity. It just wasn't something that I was expecting, and it was almost kind of uncomfortable because when I got here, everyone was very generous, very nice, and it was just amazing. So kicking it off, the first thing we're going to talk about is for those of you that are relocating this way that may be worried about employment opportunities. Well, here's just something that you should know about Boise. Boise actually has one of the lowest unemployment rates across the country, and that is due to the fact that the economy itself is absolutely booming. You have Micron, which is a local technology company that is absolutely blowing up. It's attracting people from all over the place to work there. You have Meta, which is in the surrounding area building their warehouse not too far out from Boise. You have all these different career fields as far as medical and hospitality goes, as far as technology goes, and as well as manufacturing and retail goods. So you just have all these different areas where the opportunity is just going to continue to grow, especially if you're someone who may be an entrepreneur or someone that is looking to expand a franchise out to Boise. For example, in the city that borders Boise, in Meridian, Idaho, they just opened up the first Topgolf, and they also opened up the first In-N-Out ever in the state of Idaho. So when it comes to expanding, whether it's starting a business or growing a business, Boise, Idaho just seems to be that perfect space to do exactly that. To put a number behind the fact, there is currently a 3.5% unemployment rate, which is significantly lower than the national average, as I've stated before. Now, with that being said, please don't be that individual that just decides to pick up all their stuff and just move on to Boise. It is highly recommended you guys at least have a job offer, or at least do something to make sure that all your ducks in a row, obviously. But I just like to make sure to reinstate that it isn't somewhere that you can just pack your bags up and move, because there is still a cost of living here in Boise, which we're going to talk about. Now, another huge fact that I think is super crucial. Now, before I give that to you guys real quick, I do want to put out there real quick that I am a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Idaho, and as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would absolutely love to help you with your home buying needs. So with that being said, you're going to see my phone number and my email. I am the one that answers all calls, text messages, and emails. Preferably call or text me before you email me, but I will always get back to you guys, as we have helped many of you guys now relocate and successfully close on your home here. So with that being said, let's get back into the content. With what we're going to talk about next, Boise, Idaho is actually ranked number 2 as far as the best cities to live in the United States of America right now, and that's for very evident reasons. Like I said, low crime rates and a higher quality of life. Not to forget, there's so much as far as what to do in the community, from outdoor recreation and all that good stuff, which we're going to be covering, but just so much that it offers that is very much so makes sense why Boise is ranked number 2 as far as best cities to live. Now, not only was it rated number 2 as far as the best places to live or best cities to live, it was also highly ranked as far as one of the best places to raise a family. So for those of you that may be thinking about raising a family or having children in the future, there's so much you don't have to worry about because Boise honestly just offers you so much in comparison to other cities across the country. So even if you don't have a family or plan to have a family down in the future, it's just a really huge thing to kind of consider if you do ever plan to go that route, and it's a huge bonus to that as well. So back to talking about the low crime rates and high quality of life. Now we kind of talked about also it being a good family place. It's also an amazing area. If you're into outdoor recreational activities such as skiing or biking, just as you saw someone right behind me doing, or skateboarding or longboarding, or in the winter if you like to go snowboard and tube down hills, or if you like to go boating during the summer, or just anything that you can think of outdoor wise, like hiking. I could go through all day, right? I could just keep trying to think of things, but in all reality, there's just so much that it has to offer as far as the outdoor recreational side. So that's just another huge plus. And I think that's why overall the quality of life in Boise is absolutely amazing. Now moving on to topic number 3, or thing that you need to know number 3, the real estate market in Boise is booming. It's exactly that. Now here's the good news. As of May of 2024, so last month, because we're recording June 28th, the median price point for Boise, Idaho was $599K. Now there also was an increase in inventory, which kind of has an effect to do with the pricing as far as why the median price dropped a little bit. And because the inventory is increasing and sellers are getting a little finicky, if you are looking to move here, you're able to negotiate more as far as closing costs. You're also able to negotiate the purchase price, and there's so many different things, but depending on what you're willing to spend or what you're looking for in a home, we can create a tailored game plan specifically to that. We can also make sure to point you guys in the direction as far as what location is going to be best fit for you and your family, or just you yourself. And with how we do that, we typically have an initial Zoom call, hop on the MLS real quick, get to know what you're looking for, show you what's available, and from there, depending on your timeline and things, we start to get the ball rolling once you're ready to go. So without being said, I would love to show you guys some of the homes in the city of Boise. So with that being said, enjoy some of these beautiful neighborhoods. All right, guys, so as you saw, some beautiful homes here in the city of Boise. Now, my biggest thing, I need to make sure I get this across before we move on to the next topic. Please do not go to a new construction site and work with the builder agents there, because at the end of the day, this is just a tip from a real estate agent, they represent the seller first. They're not going to help you negotiate. They're not going to tell you what they're going to accept or not accept, because at the end of the day, that's who they represent and that's who pays their salary, right? So with that being said, just please avoid making that mistake. Next thing we're going to be talking about for topic number 4, and I know this may seem not important, but it truthfully is, because if you're not prepared for it, well, it could really turn you off. So number 4 is going to be that there is 4-season weather. There is 4-season weather here in Boise, and you need to plan accordingly for that, because if you're not used to the cold, you need to learn how to drive in the snow. If you're not used to the heat, well, unfortunately there's heat. You just got to wear, I'm not going to say wear less because that doesn't sound appropriate, but you get what I'm saying. Make sure you're hydrated, things of that nature. So during the summer, it's very hot. During the fall and winter time, it gets a little cooler. Winter especially, though, we get some crazy winter sometimes. Now, I know this recent winter, we actually had one of the most amount of snow that fell in 1 month, and we had actually been super warm. We actually went a long time with no snow, no nothing. It wasn't a white Christmas or anything like that, so it was kind of crazy to see the weather, but that's just kind of what you need to expect. The weather here is fluctuating all the time. It is so bipolar, and I always joke around, I'm like, the weather in here is toxic. If you know what toxic means, you know that you do not want to deal with that. So you just have to be prepared to the best of your ability for both the heat and both the winter. and fall and spring on top of that. So with that being said though, it does give you a lot of opportunities to go enjoy the mountains, to go snowboard, ski, do all the things, and it also gives you the opportunity to go enjoy the water when it's blazing hot and you just want to cool off with boating and tubing and whatever activities you like to do with the water. So that is tip number 4. So for number 5, we're actually gonna give you guys a lot, and it's gonna be a pros and cons list because I think it's important to know not just the good, but also the bad. And I know we kind of gave you a little bit of both. So here's some of the pros as far as living in Boise, Idaho. So number 1 we're gonna start with is gonna be, it is growing like crazy. It is absolutely bananas. It is insane. So many people are relocating this way, but don't let me overhype it up. I'm not saying it in a sense where it's like good luck finding housing or anything like that. Like I said, it's available. There's a lot of inventory. We're on a inventory shortage. However, there's still opportunities there for you pending what you're looking for. So that's con number 1. Another con is going to be that as more and more people relocate this way, things are going to get more expensive, right? Supply and demand is just the way of life, right? It's just kind of how it goes. The next con is going to be, as that also picks up, we're going to start seeing more traffic and things of that nature. Now, right now it is super low traffic, so it's actually a pro, but I'm just preparing you guys for the worst case scenario. And then another con is going to be that there's low diversity here. The diversity here is very low, but as we continue to see the growth of Boise coming, we are seeing it is starting to change, which is awesome. So with that means more food, more exotic food, and just more culture being brought to the city of Boise, which is absolutely amazing. So another con is going to be there's not much public transportation, very limited. You're going to have to depend on your own vehicle unless you're okay with going through Uber or Lyft or any of those services as well. Now the pros is a very long list, which is why I saved it for last. You're welcome. So to kick it off with, number 1 is going to be that it is the most genuine, friendly people you will meet in the city of Boise. I don't really need to go into that, but just know it's a great place to live, and a lot of the people are awesome here, and you'll easily find people that you can connect with and start to hang out with. Number 2 is going to be the low crime. I know we touched on that, so I'm not going to keep going into it, but just know that you're safe in Boise unless you surround yourself with the wrong people somehow, some way, but it's not very common in Boise. Next is going to be that it is very affordable as of right now. Now it is getting more expensive, as I said, supply and demand is a real thing, but it is still very affordable as far as taxes. Income taxes are lower, property taxes are a lot lower, and there's even some benefits to living in a primary home, which once we go through your real estate plans, we'll talk about that. And then you also have another pro as far as varieties of outdoor activities that you can complete. Another pro is going to be all the food establishments, all the surrounding areas, and its location in general, how close you are to everything. And that's going to be where we wrap it up. So with that being said, I do want to reiterate one more time, I am a licensed real estate agent here in the city of Boise and surrounding areas, and I would absolutely love to help you guys. So one more time, you're going to see my phone number, my email, and you better reach out because I can guarantee no one's going to take better care of you guys. So with that being said, reach out to me, shoot me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. Let's make it happen. And on top of that, if you didn't already, make sure you press the subscribe button, leave a comment below where you're tuning in from. I always love to know where my viewers are watching from, or if you have any questions about what we talked about today, and press the bell so you can get notified when we drop more videos just like this. And with that being said, guys, if there's anything else I can do, please let me know. Love y'all. See you guys on the next one.